Welcome to Backyard Blinking. My name is Charles. I'll be your host as we go through and explore everything BB and pellet related, from air pistols to air rifles, targets, and ammo. But this morning, do something a little different. But before I get started, any younger people that see this, don't try this at home. This is geared more towards the adults and stuff like that. And, you know, some of you guys that aren't in the U.S. that are watching this, and some of you can't own a modern firearm. But there's some countries where there's certain air guns you can't own. Sorry, just bear with me. We'll kind of get back to that. This is, at least in the U.S., more geared towards, some of the people that have a concealed weapons permit. I have said from the beginning that BB guns are great trainers. Well, it's just a BB gun. Well, yeah, that's right, but there's a lot of things that we can utilize this stuff for, and especially nowadays, being as that you have so many of the replicas and whatnot, with the right weight, the right feel, the way they're set up. I've got a buddy that's a professional firearms instructor. He, every time he gets a new group or a few new people and stuff like that, he always kind of has to figure out, where he stands with them. And there's probably some people out there now that's like, well, most encounters 5 yards, 10 yards, sometimes even closer. There's always one or two. Well, yeah, 15 yards, I can get a group like this, with a 40 caliber, 9mm, 20 yards, I can. And his question is always, all right, well, show me how you're going to, break cover with it. Show me how you're actually going to get it out. Invariably, there's usually two things that happen. The first one is they reach down to their side. It's like, what, is your cover just going to magically disappear? It's gone? Or you get this. And every time they do that, he always goes, bang, you're dead. Now, if you're a great shot, that's perfect. But you have to be able to practice, clearing cover, getting a firearm out, getting on target. The CO2 BB pistols are a great way to be able to do it and do it safely. There's a lot of ranges that, in the U.S., and a lot of times the outdoor range, they're not going to allow it. There are some indoor ranges that will do it. I mean, there's one close to where I am, but you have to let them know ahead of time. They'll put you against a wall with a blank spot next to you. Or, you might be in the center with two empty lanes on either side. It's a safety issue, all right? So, but my buddy's thing is always, there's two moves, and then you should be clear and ready to fire. You've got two hands. One hand is the one that's going to go for the firearm, whether it's this one or this one. The other hand is clear to cover. So, it's, and all the moves are exaggerated. I mean, you've got to get your cover out in a way. If it's a t-shirt, you pull it up like you were going to rip it off the top of your head. And he usually always gets somebody's attention when he does stuff like that. But if you think about it, it makes sense. You've got to be clear. But I've got some stuff out here, and we're going to take a look at it. Give you an idea, plant the idea in your head, let you run with it. I mean, there's so many different options. Just because you're a good shot, if you can't clear and get it out, you're just another spectator. You went through all the trouble to get the concealed weapons permit. You might as well be able to practice safely, to be able to clear it, to get the firearm out. God forbid you'd ever have to use it, but, maybe this will give you some ideas. Okay, so as far as being able to train to clear cover and be able to pull it out, the CO2 BB handguns that are out there now, they're a great way to go. They are. Most of these things are replicas of what is already out there. I mean, the feel, the relative size. Now, sometimes the weight can be a little bit off. I mean, if you take a, you know, double stack Glock magazine and load it up, I mean, that by itself is heavy. Especially if you get something a little larger like the 10mm, that's a lot of weight. It's still close enough for you to be able to use them to practice clearing a holster, do it safely. You know, a negligent discharge will happen. If it happens with a BB gun, then that's a little easier to deal with, and you know, never do that again, right? You still don't want it to happen, but I'm just telling you. So, like this, the Glock 27, 40 cal. This DeSanto holster, I like this thing. It's leather, and with me, as far as this one is concerned, it can be inside the waistband, or because I practice with this thing enough, I'm not quite as proficient with my left as I am with my right. I can actually turn this thing around and use it outside the waistband. So, you know, that's something good. What'll fit in here? Well, I shoot the Glock. I do have a couple of Colts. I got some other stuff. This is the Colt Defender. It's a perfect fit. And it actually feels good, you know, whether it's inside or outside the waistband. I mean, it's a great way to go. And there's so many of these things. Walther, the little 9mm Walthers. The compacts are pretty close. The subcompacts are even closer. This is a 99 compact. Goes all the way down. Trigger guard's covered. And this thing feels, acts, reacts. You know, this is the one that has the slide on top, like the real thing. The weight's there. I mean, it's a great practice tool. And I mean, there's invariably, whatever it is that you carry, look around. You'll find a replica that's going to be the length, the width, you know, the grip is going to be about the same. Even some of the bigger stuff. This is a Glock 20. Smith & Wesson, M&P. The width's right, the thickness is right, the grip's right. It's a perfect fit. There are revolvers now that are on the market. I mean, you know, you've seen some of the ones that I've gotten. I probably should have brought it out here. I'm trying to change the seal in it. They were making BB only CO2 revolvers. Smaller and smaller, like about the size of this 38. Got a 38, you carry a 38, buy you a BB gun. Use that to practice clearing your cover, bringing it on the target, getting the first round off. Now, you know, most of the BB guns that you get now have a manual safety, which none of the modern stuff does. Alright? Turn the safety off. If you want to try it several times before you ever put a CO2 cartridge in there, that's fine too. These are a whole lot safer and easier to practice clearing a holster, getting on target, getting a round off. Yeah, it's You know, it's not really a perfect apples to apples comparison, but if you need something to practice with, I mean, this is the way to go. All of this stuff is just, you know, fits right into play. 1911. The perfect fit. So whatever it is, if you have a concealed weapons permit, look around. You will find one of these BB CO2 pistols that's a replica. Use that, practice with it. It's a whole lot safer. Just thought I'd pass that along. Till next time, my name is Charles. This has been Backyard Plinking.